Hey guys, it's Scott from Horse Race Daily. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the TVG Pacific Classic at Del Mar. And it's going to feature the return of Flightline, and you also have Dubai World Cup winner Country Grammer in the race. And we're going to get into all of that. And this race turned up a 6-horse field, and that's not really a bad sized field given that you got Flightline and Country Grammer. A lot of horses are just simply not going to want to challenge those two. Is when you look at the race, those are probably going to be your two most likely winners. And we're going to get into talking about Flightline first. And Flightline is a perfect 4 for 4. And he does come with a set of risk. He's never won a race beyond a mile, and now he's going a mile and a quarter. I don't really question him getting the distance as he is by Tappet. And when it comes to like the Belmont Tappets, are the typical dominant sire of that race. So I think a mile and a quarter as well in Flightline's wheelhouse. I do like the way Flightline's been working out coming into the race. I've been watching his videos on XBTV and not just looking at the times, and he just looks very impressive. Putting up fast times like he's going about it the right way. Like I said, I'm not the workout expert, but he does look to seem like he's just, training like a freight train up to this race. So he's done nothing wrong to say that he's going to lose on that part. And, in the Malibu, he does already have a win over Stiletto Boy. Keep in mind that was at 7 furlongs, and this is a mile and a quarter. So you're talking about two totally different distances here. And I think this is Flightline's race to lose. Like, I would be really shocked if Flightline lost the race. I mean, it is horse race; anything could happen. Uh, but this just looks like the way Flightline's been training. He's 4 for 4. He's turned up dominant performances in all his races. And if you look at the Met Mile, like he didn't break all that good in that race, and he actually got shuffled back. He broke bad, and he tried to, make his move going up by Speaker's Corner, and the Speaker's Corner kind of cut him off, and he had to, steady briefly, then reset, and then come out wide. So he had every reason, race wise to lose that race, but he just didn't. He just showed that he was much the better horse. Ended up winning that race, and Speaker's Corner hadn't really done so much since that race. He's kind of tailed off, but Flightline, he was facing a Speaker's Corner that was in very good form when that happened. So I just think this is Flightline's race to lose, and if Flightline drops the ball and maybe he's not ready to get it, I think Country Grammar is your next most likely winner. And I know Country Grammar got second to Royal Ship in the San Diego Handicap, but I'll get some credit for horses that come back from Dubai. I think going overseas takes a lot out of the horse, and sometimes you need a race to get back in tip-top shape. So I think the distance wise will favor. I think Country Grammar is much more of a mile and a quarter horse than a mile and a 16th. So I think he could turn the tide on Royal Ship this time around. And if you're looking for somebody maybe to try to spice up your exotics a little bit, I think I'd go with Stiletto Boy. He's always kind of been there. He's got a lot of thirds. He did win the California Stakes. He got fourth in the Gold Cup, but I just think this horse is always there. He's got a lot of in the money finishes, and he's someone at 20-1 on the morning line. If you could put him, under like Flightline maybe to get second, he could certainly, make that exact and maybe pay off, 15, 20-1. As I'm personally not going to take 1 to 5 on Flightline. I'm not even going to bother with a win bet. It's not worth it. There's still your few sets of risk, and if it was even money, I think that would be fair for me to try to put the money on. But I'm not going to bet $100 to make 20 and have to, accept the risk that comes with Flightline being so lightly raced. And some of the negatives I've talked, but I still think he's the most likely winner of the race. And you got Express Train, who's a number 4, trained by John Saracen. This horse has been in really good form. He rattled off 3 straight wins to, pretty much kick off the season. He won the San Antonio on opening day at Santa Anita the day after Christmas. And then, in February won the San Pascal. And then, got his win in the Grade 1 Santa Anita Handicap, also over Stiletto Boy that day. But then Stiletto Boy is able to turn the tables back on him in the California. So, this horse will be, racing for the first time since April. So you got to wonder how he's going to fire that, first race off the long layoff. And I don't think this is a spot for Express Train. I think, the waters get deeper. It's got to deal with Flightline, Country Grammar. So I think from a pace standpoint, it's going to be a little up against it. With being off such a long layoff, I just don't think this is his race. And you also got the 3-horse Royal Ship, who may take a little bit of money. He's trained by Mandela, Mike Smith's the jockey. And he did win the San Diego Handicap. And a lot of people, in the Gold Cup thought that was going to be the race, kind of his coming out party for the year. And, it showed on the tote board. He got bet down to even money. But, there goes Harvard ended up winning the race. In the San Diego Handicap, you kind of got that performance that you what is. It's kind of an inconsistent horse. He can go on a couple race street where he looks, really good, in grade two, grade one, like, last year in the Gold Cup in California. Then he'll just throw us, like he got seventh in the Pacific Classic, and then it came back in April of this year and won that stakes race at Santa Anita, and then in the Gold Cup didn't fire. So sometimes I don't always know what you're going to get with this horse, but in this particular spot, I don't really like him. Maybe down the road another race I could find a better spot to play him. But I certainly don't think he's going to be up there with the top Breeders' Cup contenders this year. And you got Extra Hope also by Mandela, who could be a candidate to maybe get in the top four, but I still think he's way up against it in this spot. So I'm not even going to spend that much time talking about him as I think this race just goes through Country Grammar and goes through Flightline. And if I was playing this race from a wagering standpoint, I might would have to maybe consider Flightline over Country Grammar. Just a straight exacta, or hope that Flightline can come in over Stiletto Boy and maybe Country Grammar. Not have his best effort. Maybe that race at Dubai took a little bit more out of him, but those would be the two horses I would focus on, and try to leave out horses like Express Train and Royal Ship, who I think the waters get a little deeper for him right here, especially trying to Little Boy would be perfect to pick up the pieces here in this spot. And that's how I'm going to be playing the race this week. And thanks for watching, guys.